please do not watch TV, do not drink alcohol, avoid caffeine intake if you're having difficulty sleep, and make sure that your sleeping place, your bed, is different from your workplace. And also, so even if you're living in a small house, like a lot of people live in most of the cities, find a separate place to work, and that should be away from your bed place.
Are you saying
Also
are you saying switch off your mobile, switch off your WhatsApp for an hour before you sleep?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Listen to nice music, listen to relaxing music. And if at all you want to do something, read a book. Do not watch a movie. Do not watch Netflix, because all these are activating. Light activates your brain and prevents you from sleeping.
Okay.
And whatever time you sleep, wake up at the same time every morning.
Okay,
so what happens is,
create
even
a
if
routine.
you've not slept for 1 or night, yes, keeping a routine is very, very important. Exercise is extremely important. Find different ways to exercise, whatever you like. For someone, dancing works. For someone, running works. Find your passion.
Okay, let me come. A viewer question is being asked, Dr. Desai, and I'll get short answers from all of you so we can get lots of questions. A viewer says, I had COVID, so did my entire family. All of us survived except my father, who was 79. I can't stop thinking of him, and there is an eerie silence when I'm at home. My home feels claustrophobic. People want to break free. How do they break free in lockdown times? What would you recommend to someone who's still dealing with the fact that he's lost his father?
Yes. The thing, as Dr. Amit Sen said, and as you said, one, keep your mind positively directed by hobbies or interests that you may have neglected till now. Two, please make sure the positive thoughts remain. Yes. Three, for me, that's very important to get across. Remain emotionally connected through whatever means you can with friends and family. The term social distancing is a huge misnomer. All that we need is physical distancing. Indeed, we need emotional connectedness much higher through virtual mode or whatever else possible.
So are you recommending, if I'm living, for example, if I'm finding my home claustrophobic and I can't go to office, because this is a question that a number of people are asking, they can't go to office, they're doing everything virtually. You're saying keep the emotional connectedness, even if it is virtual, keep it going, correct?
Oh, that will help immensely, alongside cutting out the excessive negative report, not just in mass media, but also on social media. So I'm totally with Anjali and your own description of what you are doing about exploring interests and hobbies and keeping your passive, at least towards the bedtime, later part of the day, passive recipient of soothing experiences than all the negative bombardment. Then the world is at you.
Let's move on to senior citizens, because senior citizens are a critical age group during COVID times. Dr. Parikh, here's a question. I am an elderly person and I live alone. My worry is that if I contract the illness and die, then nobody will know. How do I get past this extreme anxiety and distress?
Two aspects, Rajdeep. One, picking up from what everybody said, our best case scenario right now is ensuring that we stay connected across the age group. So the younger generation has to be more responsible to ensure that you keep video calling, texting, calling, talking, RWAs to take care of senior citizens who are living by themselves. And if you are a senior citizen listening to this, then frankly, you would need to still go one day at a time. I know it's natural to think about what if, but the fact is that what if only gets us into a vicious cycle of an uncertain future, which continues to be uncertain. There is no certainty in the uncertainty as well. The only way to look at it is today, here and now, a routine, bit of physical activity, lots of social engagement.
No, but how do I do my social engagement? I'm living in my house on my own. This is a senior citizen living alone. What is the social engagement you're talking about, Dr. Parikh?
The social engagement, Rajdeep, in today's time will have to be digital. Let's be very clear about this, right? And that's why I said younger generation needs to help these senior citizens feel connected by helping them. I mean, that's the only way, because in absence of that, lack of stimulation, especially social stimulation, if it goes down, it could start a lot of cognitive,
Okay.
emotional, psychological deterioration.
So you're saying that even if you have to speak to your elderly parents, constantly engage with them.
Yes,
That's very important.
yes.
Let me give you a live example which is coming from Akshay and Dr. Sen. You could take this. I am an expat in Indonesia. Every year my mother comes to spend the summer with us. She hasn't been able to do so this year or the last. She speaks to our children on FaceTime, but it's not the same. How does one get the emotional connect back in our and her life?
Right. So, yeah, I mean, I would agree that, a digital connect, although that's the only way to go now, is probably not half as good as the in-person interactions that one can have. However, to flesh it out and make it more interesting, I think, again, what we can do is go back again to good times that we spent together. We can use art, we can use poetry. We can, now there are many modified board games that you can play online, and those can actually give you a sense of connect with near and dear ones. There can be get-togethers and anniversaries and rituals that are actually done online. And it's not just about sitting and talking to each other, but you can do something which is very interesting, like create a story about the grandmother. The kids can get together and say, this is how we remember you, grandma. These are the pictures that we have, and we've made a little clip for you. Do you know? Shall we watch it together? So there are many such creative ideas that can go into fleshing it out and making these digital interactions a lot more interesting and wholesome. And so we have to be, creative and think on our feet. And the people who can do it best are young people. Adolescents and young adults are the best in using the digital media in creative ways. And we often forget that they can be party and in the decision making in some of these things.
Right.
What we often do is we talk down to them and say that, you know what, we know what's best for you. Let me tell you what you need to do during the lockdown. Perhaps it's much better to open up the conversation and say, hey, can you get some ideas about what we can do?